I am so ready. And it's Talisman as well. Can you believe it? I am so ready. And we're gonna kick things off on one of the fun maps. Actually, that is a map where Worker can go into the main. Against boanaan. Art, a very strong Russian Protoss. Had a couple days to get ready to duke it out. With the Dutch toss. Was definitely been getting some really good wins. In the weekly tournaments, on the ladder, whatnot. I think he's undefeated even in the Big Brain Bouts. I think he's 3-0. I love watching boanaan, but it's very hard to find opponents for him. Because certain matchups, he says, every game will look the same and it's not fun. Always giving PvP is not that fun either. Giving worse Protosses so you can keep on winning is not fun. But if you give him somebody that's too good, then the games won't be remotely close. I hope that this is that sweet spot. And I hope that boanaan versus Art turns into one hell of a series. I'll just swap scenes quickly so we don't have the black screen. That is good. I'll let them know that I am ready. We've got a Korean TVT main event as well. That is the first time, and I think we've ever done that. Not the TVT, even though those are pretty rare too. But 2 Koreans. I love the Koreans are playing all night long these days. They like to stay up till 4, 5, 6 a.m. to play in all the tourneys. And if they can do it for the other tourneys, they can definitely do it for the Big Brain Bouts, where they get guaranteed prize money. Here we go. BBB number 88 already. Is this the first one as the manager? I guess it's the first full one as the manager. Last week we had the announcement. Been 1 week of a new role, a new era, a new chapter in life. But tonight we are just the good old yapper who is here to enjoy some video games. Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
Everything is perfect.
Round 1. Fight.
Bottom left side of Talisman, we are looking at the main bait of who I think is the favorite. The prediction is close, so you guys don't have to worry about me ruining your odds. In the Discord channel, we had quite a few winning predictions for this man, and or for his opponent. A couple of him for him as well. I just think he's very good. It's the Russian Protoss player Art, not to be confused with the Polish Protoss player, who's also called Art, and is also very good. They're very close in skill. Top right side, he is known for his cannons, but he will not always cannon. And look at this, we're gonna kick things off with a gateway. It's the Dutchman, 3-0 in the Big Brain Bouts. It's boanaan. And guys, his reputation exceeds him. He is faking the cannon rush, and Art is already responding like it's a real cannon rush. This is what people will often do, where they will start blind countering the cannon rushes. So boanaan, who's not cannon rushing in the first game, is now forcing his opponent to open up in a very... Well, he's not forcing him, but his opponent was greedy and just bet on the fact that boanaan was going to cannon rush. Now that he doesn't see any cannons, at the absolute last second, he cancels the forge, goes for the cybercore. I would feel a little bamboozled. I would feel like I just got played. You bet on boanaan? I'd honestly be surprised if boanaan wins the series. And it's not because I don't think he's good or that I think he can only cannon rush. I just think that there is a level where people become too good for you. And I kind of think that Art is on a slightly higher level. But hey, if boanaan can pull out all the tricks and give his opponent a couple of confusing looks, anything is possible. But I think Art is better. He let the pylon finish because he wanted his opponent to really commit to the potential cannon rush defense, even if it wasn't a cannon rush. But you let the pylon finish because you want your opponent, for as long as possible, believe that it's a cannon rush. Friday night, it's been a long week. Unfortunately, still no news on the EWC front. But I still think there's no better way to close out the work week than with a cheeky whiskey on the Friday night. Or a beer, or a wine, or a vodka. But tonight we're just going for a simple whiskey. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Just one that makes us enjoy the games even more. That is one hell of a cybernetics core block. That's kind of like trying to block construction in Belgium and starting to build a fort somewhere in Singapore. It's like, well, I don't know how these two really interact with each other, but all good. I'm sure there is some logic to it. That was indeed not even remotely close. It wasn't off by 1 square, but by like 5. Art has gone for 2 hallucinated stalkers to just push boanaan back a little bit. He is scouting. He now sees that boanaan has an expand as well. Also sees that boanaan has gone for the Twilight Council. It's a decent Twilight map, eh? Yeah. Immediate pylon near the edge. Because there's definitely a lot of surface area and a lot of maneuverability for the Blink Stalkers. Isn't Art like 6k? He is close to it. I don't know if he's currently over 6k. Because not many people are. I'm sure that he has been over 6k. Just like boanaan has actually been over 6k. Which is definitely a minor miracle when it comes to like cannon rushing so freaking often as he did back then. These days it's a bit of everything. But he has done it. Incredibly impressive. Now he's actually in a little bit of trouble because he thought he could play greedy, but the Stalkers are fake. 2 out of the 4 were fake, so boanaan should have enough firepower here. Does end up losing a unit, kills the Stalker in return. Could drop another force field, that's what he does. The final force field wasn't needed. Still a good trade. Lost a Stalker. Lost 2 of them in total, but killed the Stalker and Sentry. Maybe not that good of a trade then. It's an even trade. I think I missed 1 Stalker going down. Traditionally, I would say that Blink is good here. And I wonder if Art is going to follow his Robo build up with Resonating Glaives. He could obviously go Immortal into Blink Stalkers as well. That's perfectly fine. That's not a bad play or anything. You can even gear up for some sort of an Immortal 2-base Blink Stalker all-in. There's a lot of different routes that this game can take. boanaan has a nasty supply block, guys. Oh. The 54 out of 54 with a probe in production and still no pylon on the way. Could be some nerfs and some pressure, as obviously boanaan does play in a lot of tourneys. But you don't very often play a single series for prize money. And the few things that shouldn't go wrong suddenly do start going wrong. No reason ever to be supply block there. Unfortunate. Besides that, a good start for the Dutchman, but the 54 out of 54 is painful. I think boanaan is decent in when it comes to just like battling with the Stalkers and continuing to expand. But I think where he will still be lacking a little bit is some of these very sharp timing attacks, the move outs that could catch him by surprise. If Art just sits back and lets boanaan take as many bases as he wants and build as many units as he wants, boanaan is going to be totally fine. Because he is good enough to make 15 gateways and spam Zealots and Stalkers. He can absolutely do that. But these are the difficult move outs, because now Art is already marching to the other side of the map. And he may not have Blink, but what he does have is 2 very healthy Immortals, a Prism, a Sentry. It's super difficult to hold this. You've got force fields. I wouldn't hate a few more force fields, to be honest. You cannot fight his army straight up. Do not let him walk up that ramp. Force fields so far are good, but we're going to need more. We are going to need more. Has warped in 1 more. No. It's just gone for the energy recharge. Art is going up to 3 bases, by the way, while applying this pressure. He's playing well. So far, I think Art, even though he took the bait a little bit in the beginning of the game against that fake cannon rush, he's playing a good series. boanaan does snipe the Stalker there, though. The little pickups, guys, that really add up over time in the PvP. First series of the night. Now the entire army has made it up the natural. We don't have energy recharge because we already used it. I don't like this fight. We have to pull the probes. Pull probes right now, boanaan. If you don't pull the probes, you're in so much trouble. Pull the probes and snipe that Prism or snipe an Immortal. I don't know. He's still not pulling. He's waiting for his own Immortal. We need to open up the path. Has Zealot charge now. There's a couple Zealots that are going to make their way through. Has decided to still not pull the workers. Maybe with the 3, 4, 5 Zealots with charge there is some hope, but the 2 Immortals really pack a punch. It's not bad so far for boanaan as he does use energy recharge. Might finally be able to get an Immortal. The Immortal goes for the shield battery. And in the end it is Art who recalls. boanaan gets both of the Immortals. 3 base Art, 2 base boanaan. War Prism makes it out. Also maybe gets to see the timing of the 3rd. Good hold. Definitely a pretty good hold as he's got +1. Can we counter in a devastating way? Shield battery gets cancelled immediately. Archon gets picked off. boanaan does not have a Prism with this move out. This army from boanaan is quite good, especially because he's got +1. I don't think it's good enough to really stick around forever. Because we are 10 seconds away from Art having Blink 2, and Blink +3 Immortals is not going to struggle with just a couple Stalkers. boanaan needs to run, I think, at this point. You really don't want to get too carried away here without a Prism or a Gateway on the other side of the map for the immediate reinforcements, you need to disengage. Spicy start to the Big Brain Bouts, number 88. Fun game, where they both have different things going for themselves. Biggest advantage for the Dutchman, upgrades, guys. There is, I've seen him actually build quite a few Colossus, and you guys know that I love Colossus in PvP. I think it's too early right now. I don't think this is a Colossus moment yet. Colossus can be incredibly useful and can be very powerful in this matchup, but I think especially if you have a +2 advantage, you get full value out of that by having a very mobile army, and by just forcing little battles like Zealots against Zealots at a third, Stalkers poking in and out of range. I think that's where you get most value out of your upgrade advantage. Boanaan this time does have a prism sneaking into a domain of Art. As Art is once more applying a lot of pressure with his entire army. A silly amount of slow Zealots in the mix, but Zealot charge about to finish off. I think Art has to truly respect this, because this is once more where these upgrades are going to shine. If it's just a bunch of 0-0 Zealots against +2 Zealots, this could become very difficult for Art. I don't know if Boanaan is going to give him the fight that he's looking for here. I think eventually there should be too many Zealots on the side of Boanaan defensively that can make these Immortals a little bit less powerful. So far so good by Boanaan. I'd say that maybe is a tiny bit of a questionable blink. We are going to lose a lot of Stalkers, but it's +2 against +0. The Dutchman, Boanaan, looking good. He's holding, and he still has that prism on the other side of the map. These Dutch Protoss nerds, eh guys? Now Art does have a Dark Shrine coming online. And right now Boanaan has 0 observers. And it's not just a Dark Shrine, there's still a War Prism that's out there as well. He's building Disruptors, by the way. I personally think Art's army is a little bit too tiny right now to get a lot of value out of Disruptors, but this move out looks really good. Boanaan has a lot going for himself, but he's got no detection. And if you have no detection, yeah, you're gonna have to run here, mate. Please run. Don't try to fire Novas and stick around. That's silly. Do not do that. Do not do that. Boanaan, okay, he's gonna fire Nova. Gets 1 DT. And does have a solid Zealot run by as well. Man, this game is chaos. This game is absolute chaos. But now there is a DT on the other side of the map as well. The Dutchman is gonna try to crank out an observer. What a game. First game of the night. DT got warped in, but gets cancelled after Art spotted there is a Nova flying towards his DT. And this Zealot run by in the natural. 10 out of 10. Once more, this is where upgrades shine so freaking much. Because your opponent can't just look at 3 Zealots and warp in 3 Zealots and think it's gonna be okay. It's not okay. You're gonna need way more than just an even number. 15 workers is massive, and now Boanaan has also slowed the game down a little bit, so he should have an answer for the DTs. He has 2 observers right now, but he's got 3 bases to worry about. 1 DT in the natural, 2 DTs in the main. Oh, with 2 Stalkers, it's gonna take forever, by the way. This is gonna take forever. We need more firepower. Guys, why? Why do we defend 2 DTs with 2 Stalkers? Boanaan still looking good. A lot of things still look good for him. But this is a bit painful. He's still up 30 supply. Wow. Matchmaking for Boanaan ain't easy, but maybe we're sitting on a gem here, guys. Out of the irony, right, Sep? You would think that if there is one person out there that knows that a cheeky cannon could be very useful here, it should be Boanaan, but he's not used to building cannons at home. This man builds cannons on the other side of the map. Static offense, he calls it. There's no such thing as static defense. Ooh, I don't know about this fight. He does have an upgrade lead still, but there is an Archon in the mix. Oh, the Nova. No, yes. Okay, 2 Zealots is not bad. 2 Zealots ain't bad. Art is definitely closing, though, that supply deficit that he was in for a while. Still losing Zealot wars. Warping in a defensive DT is smart, because Boanaan does not have an observer with this Warp Prism play. Finds an opening, and if Boanaan can take control of this area, then the Nova should be able to keep the Protoss army at bay. That is a fantastic Nova by Boanaan. Do we have another one? That was pretty damn good too. Gets a couple Zealots. Killed one of his own Zealots, but hey, that has to happen. Finds 8 workers. Is still warping in stuff in the main, but he needs to stop because he's got no observer here. Even though Art cannot really keep this up. Art cannot keep it up. Down to 39 workers. Down 37 army supply. It's the Dutchman, boanaan, who takes the 1-0 lead. He ain't there yet, Bull. Yeah. Banger game. Legitimately banger game. This is something that I think boanaan does need to fix quickly. Because I don't know if you're going to get away with it throughout the entire series. The 54 out of 54 supply block is one that we spotted and definitely slowed him down a little, but made enough correct choices in the end. 1-0 lead. I mean, if boanaan wins again tonight, guys, we're going to have to move him up these fight cards. And we're going to have to give him even tougher opposition. I guess we bought too deep. No, I mean, boanaan is as much of a cannon rusher as anyone will ever be a cannon rusher. He is just a cannon rusher who has also played a lot of normal games up to this point. But you cannot just look at boanaan and be like, this man doesn't cannon rush anymore, because he does. The man loves the cannons. Next map is ley lines. I think that's a good cannon map as well. But he's of course smart, and he's going to play to his image. If he knows that everyone is expecting him to cannon rush up to the point where they don't even scout anymore and they just like blind counter him, he can take advantage of that because he's a good player, he's smart. He's going to cannon rush game 2 though, I'll tell you that. Give him harder opponents. Well, I think I already gave him a very, very tough opponent tonight. And he's taking the 1-0 lead, that's good. But he's not there yet. But that's what the Big Brain Bouts is all about, mate. The Big Brain Bouts is obviously about giving you guys some fun, competitive, evenly matched Starcraft to watch. But yeah, the moment that people start doing good and they're exceeding the expectations and they continue to do better, I have to give them tougher opponents. It doesn't make any sense to give them weaker opponents over time. And I'm sure I've done that once or twice because that's just how that week filled out. Or that is the matchup that we needed. But that is the whole idea of the Big Brain Bouts. It's not evil, that's just how competition works, mate. Sure, we are doing a little bit of charity here in the name of BASILISK to support the pro gamers out there, but we still want to see them sweat and we want to see them work for it. And put on a show. If it's too easy, we're not doing it right.
Round 2, fight!
So Psionic, they're both 6k. Polish Art is very good, he's slightly older. Russian Art is a younger guy, but also has been 6k. Historically, Polish Art is a little bit higher on average, maybe 200-300 MMR, but at this point, they can both beat each other because you know enough about PvP. The two guys at this level can beat each other. Alrighty, a 1-0 lead for this man. And I told you guys, he is going to cannon rush in game 2. And he absolutely is because Ley Lines is a good cannon rush map. A lot of great spots in the main base on the low ground. This is boanaan. Yeah, Polish Art has also been around a whole lot longer. Top right side, once more going for no scout, but immediate double probe. Oh, on the low ground. It is Art, Russian Art that is. The fact that he has 2 probes, by the way, is very good. If he would only have 1 probe on the low ground, I wouldn't love this quote-unquote blight counter at all. This is actually bad though, because I think boanaan is going to trap himself here. He's going to warp in the cannon. I don't like this, because I don't think you can't really deny this, no? boanaan is saving up enough. Oh my god, Art cancels it! Because for the second time he thinks it's not a real cannon rush, but it is! Art, mate! Oh my goodness, Art! I mean, we do have a full wall off, but this is now just going to be annoying. It is going to be really, really annoying. What is the Zealot going to do? I would almost say run the Zealot to the other side of the map. So the Zealot has one purpose on the ramp, and that is put pressure on the probe. So the cannon can shoot at the cybernetics core immediately. Maybe, oh, yeah, and that is exactly the dance that's happening right now. For the people who don't follow or watch Starcraft all the time, you need high ground vision to attack units on the high ground. So boanaan is dancing very cautiously with this probe back and forth. That's still okay, I think, for Art, right? He's gonna get a Stalker out, there's no pilot, no cannons in his main. So it should be okay. Interesting defense, though. Interesting defense, but yeah, now you've got a range unit out, and the probe cannot do that little trick on the ramp, and there's no more high ground vision. Will this now turn into a game where boanaan contains Art? The Zealots are a bit more tanky, so they can actually give some more high ground vision to the cannon. This could turn into like a mass Void Ray game. Love you, Roddy, and love you too, matey. Thank you, Bash for the 20 months. Double Stalker is obviously good. boanaan I don't know if we can really get the Void Ray thing going. Art has gone for a proxy robo by the looks of it. Bit of an odd choice, but okay. Oh, does kill the cannon right before this battery came online, but boanaan could have healed it with the left battery, and he didn't do that. So Stalkers, can they... Hey, this pylon is too far away. I think this pylon is too far away, so the gate is going to be unpowered, but I guess boanaan does not care, because his Void Ray is going to be fired up real soon. 3 Stalkers against 1, though, is a bad fight. We don't want to lose the probe either. The probe is like, even if it's the last damn thing I do, I warp in 1 more battery. I know what God put me on ley lines for. This was my destiny, and I'll do it. I don't understand the proxy robo very well, guys. I think that the game looks fine for Art, but he also needs to be so careful. Is he gonna walk back up? He is gonna walk back up, and imagine that Void Ray pops like half a second earlier. It's prismatic alignment, zap, multiple Stalkers death immediately. 4 Stalkers with battery support, good enough against the Void. Oh, boanaan supply blocked again, guys. 29 out of 31. Second time in this series that boanaan hits a very bad supply block, and this gives Art a lot of extra time to warp in some Stalkers. I don't know if it would have made all the difference. What I do know is that it does not help. boanaan is going to counter with double robo. You gotta love the flowchart of cannon rushes, eh? It's like cannons, Stalkers, Zealot, Void Ray, cannons, batteries, double robo, warp gate. Like, we're getting warp gate. We have 1 gate. We did lose a pylon. Yes, but we also saw that coming. It's not like the pylon got nuked. It's like, wow. The man found his little commander card and he could drop a javelin missile from the sky and he sniped that pylon. It took time. Now 1 Stalker is not good enough to deal with this Void Ray that just got recalled. Void Ray is actually gonna go for the Immortal immediately, and there is nothing that can save it. Well, I guess boanaan can save it if he decides not to chase. I think the Stalker count is too high. boanaan needs time, and that is time that Art is not gonna give him. There is no defensive shield battery in the main. 1 pylon is gonna get picked off. Now we're gonna pull the probes immediately. boanaan definitely a warrior. Absolutely. Making some correct calls here. That is actually going to give him the time to get 2 Immortals out. And with 2 Immortals and a Void, I almost want to say he can fight this army. boanaan can actually fight this army. Where is all that army supply of Art? I don't see it. This is a tough fight for Art. He really wants any more. Void Ray doesn't get it. Good micro on the side of the Dutchman. Man, is boanaan looking good in this game now? Why does it all of a sudden? He's down 15 army supply, but... This is a mistake, you know. Why are we leaving 4 Stalkers at home? These 4 Stalkers would have been a lot more useful, I think, on the other side of the map. If Art gets the robo, he's ahead. Oh, that's a good force field. That's a really good force field. Does let the Adept Shade finish up. Oh, and he traps them! The Adept force field. Art with the place. Excellent play. Alright, that will do it. I still think it was a mistake to have 4 Stalkers at home attacking a unpowered Stargate, but that was a very good shade. Well done by Art, and that should do it. This actually looked dicey for a tiny second there, because like 3 Stalkers, a Sentry, and 2 Adepts, and an Immortal. Not that good against a Void Ray and double Immortal, and both of them very healthy. And in the end, it seems that Art has done enough things correctly, and that will do it. Void Ray falls, final Immortal falls, and we've got a series on our hands. We're all tied up, 1 apiece. This is some interesting Starcraft, guys, to start off our Friday night adventure. Yeah, they've both made a lot of correct calls. Also a couple of like risky calls, but it seems like they keep on getting away with some of the risky decisions they make. These games are almost as exciting as the games of you with Mr. Bitter. That was very fun for me, just because it was Ben, and I love seeing Ben play some games. The actual games, though, holy squid, a little bit painful, mate. You were so scared you'd come back and you found out it was 25 minutes late. No, mate. 1-1. Very normal series. Well, normal. Now, when it comes to low MMR StarCraft, first match of the night. Sometimes we do community night. Obviously tonight this is just a good game. Boanaan is very good. Art is very good. It's just so risky to find a good matchup for Boanaan because I don't want to end up with a 3-0 in 12 minutes for the other guy. So I had to dig a little, but I think that so far by the looks of it, this is a good one. When it comes to what I sometimes do, the lower MMR opening matches, you have to give it to J Money. Well, J Money versus Luo Lease really was peak entertainment. And I know not everyone is very fond of J Money, but that was as good as it gets. For first series of the night, that is everything that I want to see from like 5k MMR. And I feel like we had some fun with air as well, even though those cases are so painful. It's okay. We'll see what we cook up next week. Big Brain Bouts number 89. Maybe we'll go very low for the first match. Maybe we go 3.4k low. Why not? First match, we can do whatever the hell we want. Tonight we went for high level Starcraft. Maybe next week we'll go for very low level.
Round 3. Fight.
Or amateur level, maybe is a nicer way to put it. Bottom right side, guys, of Whispers of Gold, for the first time in the series, is gonna send a very early probe to the other side of the map. It is a Russian youngster. It is Art. He says, alright, I keep on misreading this. I think it's a cannon rush, and then it's not. And when I don't think it's a cannon rush, it is a cannon rush. I am not a fan. So why don't... Ooh, he steals a gas. Oh, okay. So boanaan gets one gas, the left one. Art gets the right gas. I would say this is normally always a good play. If you can steal one of the first 2 gases of your opponent in PvP, that is always a good thing. What I'm a tiny bit scared of is that the last thing that I would ever want to do against boanaan is make the games very weird. And the moment you start off with a mega early probe scout and stealing a gas, you're kind of inviting the weirdness. You're opening the door. There's not a little gap, no, it's wide open. There is no door anymore. And if it comes down to the very weird PvPs, I might actually favor boanaan. If it comes down to very standard, I make a couple sentries and expand, you make a couple sentries and expand, and then we go Twilight, I absolutely favor Art. Even though boanaan is capable of playing that, just not really at the level yet of Art. I think you're limiting the options. I feel like boanaan will have a pretty good flowchart in general when it comes to the early game. I feel like for Art, like now boanaan just says, alright, if you steal my gas, I'll just go for a very, very greedy Nexus. And if you want to all-in me, do it. But I don't think you are necessarily the ultimate one-base all-inner. And I think he's right in that regard. So now we're already looking at a scenario where if Art all-ins, it is to be expected. And he may not have done that a million times. And if Art expands, his expand is so much later. For sure, Iba. But I think you agree with me that if it comes down to the most basic, even timing expands, same units as the beginning, we both go Twilight, Art is the better player. He's going to be able to do that a bit better. Right now, I like this game currently for boanaan. And Art, his hand, is kind of being forced here. He's going to go for the proxy Robo. So it will be Robo against Robo. A 2-gate opening for boanaan. No warp gate yet, by the way. Why is he not getting warp gate? I know we have very little gas. We were working with 1 gas. Now I guess we just want to get an Immortal out as quickly as possible. Does boanaan know? Boanaan doesn't know, for sure. But obviously he may expect this, because he knows that he dropped a very early Nexus. And a very, very early Nexus on his side is often going to prompt some crazy aggression from the other side. The special. I don't know if we're going to quite go down that route. He just forgot. No, he has very little gas. And you can't really build Stalkers and a Robo and an Immortal if you have no gas income. I really don't think he forgot. I think this is a decision he made because he didn't want to delay the more important things. And it actually makes some sense. And I'm sure that he will get it eventually. So he goes Immortal Sentry.
I am here.
Barrier gets activated. That is a little bit scary. boanaan needs to be very, very careful. He only has one shield battery. Does kill a stalker. That is good. Still just building regular stalkers. We need a war prism, I think. Second immortal is fine too. I like the second immortal. I would also like a prism. Maybe double immortal first is better, because you really do need some firepower. You need some HP. And after 2 immortals, we can make a war prism. Having an early observer is actually going to give him a lot of info. He knows exactly what is up. He's going to get up some defensive batteries. This is a scary moment though. Art's army is bigger. It's at the front door of boanaan. No supply blocks this time for boanaan, but it's still going to be a tough hold. He does have an immortal high ground battery. He's going to get targeted immediately. He is rebuilding batteries. That is painful. I wonder if this pylon powers this battery. I think it might. Yeah, it does. Art is actually going to walk into the main base of boanaan, but it also means that boanaan can pull 1 million workers. Unpowering the gates doesn't do that much. Unpowering the robo is good, but I think I like this fight for boanaan. This should normally be a the extra 4. I didn't recall. Could we have recalled? We can recall now. Or maybe it's a little bit too late. It looked promising for boanaan for a split second when all of his units were battling. And now another force field could really hurt. Fight with the probes, mate. You have to fight with the probes. It is now or never. It is 2 bases against 1 base. We can't lose that immortal battery. No, it didn't go back. It did not go back. And that will do it. GG gets called. And the Russian Protoss Art takes the 2-1 lead. There was potential there for boanaan. There really was some potential there. With robo against robo. Couple batteries. Just like the few seconds. Maybe a blind double immortal is a better choice than immortal observer. Even if the observer can be mega useful in giving you the heads up and showing you where the attack is coming from. If he has double immortal there, he can just stand in front of the battery and he can just battle. And then if we trade out 2 bases against 1 base, if we both lose some units, it's all good, right? The observer is useful, but it does delay your second immortal. And knowing how close this got. Oh well. Oh well. 2-1 lead for Russian Art. Hello, Multi. Happy Friday, mate. You think gas steel is always good? I think it depends. I've had plenty of moments where I got a gas steal and it didn't do anything for me because it put me in a position where I then couldn't deal with what was being thrown at me because everything was being thrown off a little bit. But if you have practiced it a lot and you know exactly what to do, maybe it's, I don't know if it's always good. The thing is, if it's 1 base against 1 base, of course it's always good because in PvP you need multiple gases. But if your opponent is literally going Nexus before 7x score, that Nexus is done very quick, and you can actually take a gas in the natural. And it doesn't change that much, so I don't think it would do that much for you in some scenarios. I wouldn't go as far to say it's always good. Don't think it is. I think it's very often good, but definitely not always. Round 4.
Round 4. Fight!
Ultra Love, a fantastic map for cannons. If you can just get a probe in the main base, like all these little gaps are so good. If you get a pylon here, basically as the defender, you need like 4 or 5 probes on patrol to close all the little gaps. Because the last thing you ever want to see is go cannons up in your main base. Art obviously has been doing a good job in trying to keep probes out of his main at all costs. Let's see how this one plays out. Top right side, it is boanaan. The Dutch Protoss undefeated in the Big Brain Bouts. Apparently played 3 times, won all 3 times. Today he is down 1-2. I don't know if he's ever gone down 1-2. It's been 88 weeks, guys. That's a lot of Starcraft. I don't remember all the results, but you do know the man has a good track record. So does this kid, to be fair. Don't know exactly how he has done, but I feel like most of the time whenever we watch the Russian Protoss player that is called Art, not to be confused with the Polish Protoss called Art, he actually does pretty good. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Russian Protoss because that's shameless. You guys know that I'm a bit of a shameless fan. And I feel like he is giving us a lot of reasons to be a fan. But Art has definitely already shown a lot of promise in the past. And I wouldn't be surprised that if this somehow turns out to be eventually a good year for Starcraft 2. It's not been a bad start. But of course we're all waiting. We want more. We want big things. Wouldn't be surprised to see this kid really step it up and become one of those top 32 European players, maybe even top 16. SKillous is Dutch, man. SKillous is so Dutch. And SKillous is already a big name, right? He's been around for so long. He's always gets invited to the big tournaments. He qualifies for a lot of the big tourneys as well. Shameless is still on the up and up, just like someone like Art is on the up and up. SKillous is almost same category as Strange. You know, the guys that have just been around forever. We know they're good. It's not news. And a lot of people that have watched Starcraft for a while know that they are good. Double gate. Adept into a Stargate on the side of boanaan. Oh, did scout right early on with a probe. Yep, he absolutely did. A little bit surprised why he built his own. Okay, he wanted to trap the probe. So Art temporarily blocked the entrance of his main to make sure that the probe of boanaan would be stuck. Then he could cancel the battery, he could kill the probe. You lose some minerals, but you guarantee yourself a probe kill. One cannon rush game, 2 macro attempts. First game, fake cannon rush. Third game, kind of just normal 1 gate fast expand. Second game, an actual cannon rush. He has only been in the Netherlands, Godsaudo. He has traveled a little bit. I mean, I don't think we really need to discuss his life, but no, he's not been back to Russia, but he has traveled, obviously. Gone to some Starcraft events in America, and I think he met his family once or twice in different countries, but has never gone back to Russia. There is Nikita. The big Nikita. 3 Stalkers will get a kill on the shield battery, not even a cancel. It seems like boanaan was just not quite ready for this. Has 2 adepts on the other side of the map. He's trying to create some chaos. Not a good start here if you ask me for boanaan. He's not going to get much done in the natural. He's not going to get much done in the main. Supply blocked again. Obviously he lost the pylon, so maybe this one is excusable. Oh my goodness, guys. It is a disaster. The Dutchman has never lost in the Big Brain Bouts. He is in the main base this time with an Oracle and 2 adepts. He might get a couple workers here, but he's going to have the absolute toughest time dealing with those Stalkers at home. He's going to lose the Oracle. He's going to lose the adepts. Seems like we're going to try to repower the gates. Do we have warp gates this time? Please tell me we do. We do. We've got warp gates. It's gone to Berlin. No comment there, Ian Blue. I think Nikita really liked Berlin, actually. Nikita is a traveler. Nikita visits all the cities that I talk smack about. Amsterdam, Berlin, Paris. Nikita goes everywhere. He's like, if Roddy doesn't like it, it's got to be good. Yeah. Thank you, AIM, for gifting 1 to Nikita. I appreciate it. Guys, boanaan in all sorts of trouble. His undefeated record is on the line. A panic force field? Excusez-moi. I don't know what the hell happened there, but that is a panic force field if I've ever seen a panic force field. Looking very, very grim. Going for a Phoenix after the Void. Oh, just having a perfect opening here. Legitimately a perfect opening. He did not panic against the Debs, did not panic against the Oracle. He just ran to the other side of the map and boanaan was not ready. This is somewhat of a competitive fight, but there is still a numbers advantage on the side of the young man from Russia. And that is going to do it. The GG gets called 6 minutes in. It turns out that this man was, in the end, a little bit too much to handle, but still a fun series. I feel like we saw a very fun first game with a couple cool moments in Game 2, Game 3. Game 4 is what it is, but overall I enjoyed it. Congrats to Art for winning the $60 that BASILISK puts on the line for the first series of the night. boanaan will still get 15 for playing. Oh well. Time for some TVZ. You guys wanted cannons, you guys love cannons. We got some cannons, not too many, but we got a couple. If I would give boanaan somebody that's a little bit lower, I think we'd see a lot more cannons throughout the best of 5, but Art is very good. Overall, I think that boanaan, came in with a plan. He did the fake cannon rush, he did an actual cannon rush, he played some macro. I think it was fun, but Art is very, very good. There's no shame in that. No. Alright. You guys settled for 52% Art, 48% boanaan. It is the Russian talented Protoss Art who gets the dub. So we'll settle that prediction. Second series of the night, one that I am very, very excited about. Over. Iba versus Moja, best of 5. You guys love Atrax, you guys love Marines. Well, you're gonna see some, that's for sure. Iba is our UK Zerg. Is there a chance he plays Protoss, Roddy? I guess there's always a chance, but I don't think that is supposed to happen. We're looking for a Zerg, and I think he still likes playing some ZVT. The Zergs right now mostly hate ZVP. ZVT, it's not as easy for Zerg as it once upon a time was, but they still love it, they still enjoy it, they still like it. So we're expecting a ZVT best of 5. Mojo, of course, German Terran. I'll give you guys 15 minutes to get your predictions in. BBB number 88, second series of the night means $80 for the winner, 20 buckies for the loser. Iba turned 16 a couple weeks ago. We celebrated that with a main event. It didn't go his way, and now he just has to climb his way back up. I thought TOS was banned. I would prefer some ZVT, Iba, but if you're down 0-2 and you really feel the only way to turn it around is Protoss, you're allowed to play Protoss. So keep it like that. Is that fair? You're down 0-2, you can do whatever you want. But if you're winning, we're gonna stick with the Zergies. Alright, ZVT it is. Jeez Louise. The state of this scene, guys. How can I? I'll take a very tiny break myself, and by the time that I come back, we're gonna get ready for hopefully a very long ZVT best of 5 between Moja and Iba. $80 winner, 20 bucks loser. Brought to you by Basilisk. I'll see you guys soon.